Any edits, changes? If you need a minute to read it, we can do that. Any comments from staff on this?
I would move approval of the minutes.
I mean, I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Aye.
All righty. Financial management policy, Ruth.
I am so glad you all have allowed me to bring this back before you. This is the financial policy that I brought before you not so very long ago. It went into effect, and we realized that it actually does not include any explicit oversight of our organization's payroll. While we are doing 2 sets of eyes on payroll before it goes out, as a practice, it is not actually in the policy, and it should be. So the revisions before you explicitly call out who and what their role is in reviewing the payroll, which is bi-monthly for our organization. And then there's also a couple of edits around electronic payments and checks to clarify what exactly is happening there. The way that I had written it previously, it sounded like we were moving all of our payables to check, or from checks to electronic, and we need to have an option to have a mix. So it clarifies that, and then it also clarifies exactly who can sign checks, which again had been a practice that was not as clear as it could have been in the management policy.
As I understand it, that appears in the bylaws or something, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, but it was not clear the way it was written here.
Gotcha.
So this just is matching the bylaws. Are there any other questions about financial management policy?
So are we moving to more electronic payments? Is that we finally
We
getting there?
have the option to.
It's not in, you said
In
this,
practice at the moment?
But the way it's written, it does authorize or clarify that we can authorize the wire payments the way we have been doing, and could authorize other payments that way.
So you've got this marked as a action item?
To recommend to the commission for adoption.
Mr. Chair, I move that we recommend that this be sent to the full commission for approval.
Thank you, fine sir.
You're
Can I
quite
get a
welcome.
second, Michael?
Sorry, I was muted. Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 All righty. So I guess during the actual commission meeting, we'll have to do this. Okay. All righty, financial management policy draft. We supposed to be talking about this in front of our guy that's doing our auditing? Just a joke.
Yeah. All right.
Not a good joke, but it was a joke. All righty, Ruth, I think that's you.
no, that's me,
Oh, sorry.
that's all right. So we have with us tonight David Foley, who has performed our
No.
audit from Robinson. Am I?
We did both.
Yes,
Oh, look at that.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
I'm
One was the
sorry.
red line, one was.
Smith, the old man, apparently
Yeah,
is trying to
exactly.
catch
It's
up.
all right, we got you.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah, somebody get him a credit.
All righty. I'm gonna shut up now. Go ahead, Laura.
All right, thank you. So we have conducted the fiscal year 25 agency financial audit with David Foley, and here tonight to present the findings with us to go over in hopefully good detail and be available to answer any questions you may have. I'll also kind of let you know that on an annual basis, in addition to or included in is this management's discussion and analysis that is prepared in-house by Christine and myself. And that is on pages 9 through 14. If you have any questions in that section, feel free to pose those questions to me. But I'll turn the floor over to David.
All right, well, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. So we have completed the audit for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2025, and have issued a draft of the audit report and financial statement. So here to present the results of that to you all. Before I get into the actual results of the audit, as part of the audit that we do, there's really three main pieces of the audit that we do. One, of course, is we audit the financial statements to make sure that the organization's financial statements have been prepared in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. And then the other two pieces of the audit we do in accordance with government auditing standards, one of which is, in addition to just looking at the numbers themselves, we look at the internal controls that the organization has over its financial reporting, and we'll do a test of some of those controls. And then the third piece of the audit is the federal compliance piece that's done in accordance with the single audit federal auditing standards. So for the major federal grant programs, OMB issues a compliance supplement that lists all the required things that the organization has to comply with when it's carrying out and expending the federal grant program. So as part of the audit, we look to make sure that the organization is complying with those federal grant compliance requirements. So those are the three main pieces of the audit that we do. So as such, included in the audited financial statements, there are three different reports from us that communicate the results of the audit. The first is towards the beginning on numbered page 6. This is our independent perform an audit on the organization's financial statements. And then in the second paragraph of this report is where we issue our opinion on the financial statements. And we have issued an unmodified opinion on the organization's financial statements, which means which is the cleanest opinion an auditor can give on a set of financial statements. Essentially, an unmodified opinion means that the organization's financial statements have been prepared in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. So again, that's the cleanest opinion an auditor can give on the set of financials. The other two reports from us are in the back of the report. The first one is back on page PDF page 70. So this is our report over the organization's internal control over financial reporting. This report was clean as well. We noted no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in the organization's internal controls that it has over financial reporting. For instance, we had no audit adjustments as part of the audit that we did, which I think speaks to the strength of the controls that the organization has over its financial reporting. Really to go through an audit and not have any audit adjustments, I think speaks to the strength of the internal controls that the organization has. To go through an audit and not have any financial statements, again, I think that speaks to the strength of the internal controls that the organization has. And then the third and final report from us is 2 pages over on page 72. This is our report over the organization's compliance with its major federal grant programs. Again, this report was clean as well. We noted no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses or federal compliance issues with the organization's compliance with its major federal grant programs. So All three opinions, all three reports from us were clean again this year. So overall, it was a very, very clean audit for the organization again this year. So those are the three opinions. As far as the financial statements go, the first set of financial statements start on page 17, Exhibit 1. And these first two financial statements are the full accrual statement. So this includes, capital assets, long-term liabilities, liabilities and assets related to the pension and OPEB related to the VRS, OPEB liabilities. So Exhibit 1, statement of net position. Again, this shows the assets, deferred outflows, liabilities, deferred inflows, and net position as of the end of the fiscal year. So total current assets for the organization at the end of the fiscal year was 10.5 million. And total current assets, then non-current assets, which include the net pension asset, and then net capital assets, total was 586,000. So grand total of assets was 11.2 million. And then the next section of the statement of financial position is the liabilities. So total current liabilities was 8.9 million. And then grand total liabilities was also a little over 8.9 million. And then down at the bottom shows the total net position at the end of the fiscal year. So total net position was 2.1 million. And then that's further broken down between net investment and capital assets, which was 10,900. Restricted net position, which is related to the net pension asset, which was 550,000. And then unrestricted net position was 1.6 million. The second financial statement is the next page over on Exhibit 2. It shows the expenses, revenues, and change in net position. So kind of down towards the bottom, the change in net position was 164,000. Almost 165,000 increase in net position during the fiscal year. And again, these are the full accrual financial statements. The next section of the financial statements is 2 pages over, starts on Exhibit 3. Exhibit 3 is the balance sheet for the governmental funds. So these are on the modified accrual basis. So there's various categories for various different funds. So it's got the general fund, transportation, housing, the Blue Ridge Cigarette Tax Board, broadband, and other governmental funds. So total assets at the end of the fiscal year was 10.7 million. And then compared to total liabilities, which was a little over 9 million, and then ending fund balance at the end of the fiscal year was 1.6 million. Again, fund balance is the excess of the organization's assets over its liabilities. And then again, that fund balance is broken down between non-spendable, which was prepaid expenses of 25,000. Then committed fund balance of 900, almost 946,000, which was related to capital reserves, and then unassigned fund balance of 720,000 at the end of the fiscal year. The next financial statement that's included is Exhibit 4. This is just a reconciliation between the fund balance that's reported on Exhibit 3, which again is on the modified accrual basis, and then the reconciling items between that and then the total net position that was reported on Exhibit 1. So just the reconciling items between the two. So on page 22 is Exhibit 5. This is a statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance. Again, various different columns for the different funds. So total on page 23, there's the total revenues of 45.4 million in revenues compared to expenditures of 45.2 million, and then down towards the bottom, the net change in fund balance during the fiscal year. So the increase in governmental fund balance was $167,350. So an increase in fund balance during the fiscal year.
Alright. Reconcile all that.
And then last exhibit in the front of the report is Exhibit 6. Again, this is just a reconciliation between the change in fund balance of 167 and then the reconciling item to the full accrual change in that position. It was on Exhibit 2 of 164,000. So those are the main financial statements at the beginning of the report. The next section of the report starts on page 25, which goes on for about another 25, 26 pages. This is the notes to the financial statements. So the notes to the financial statements discloses significant accounting policies that the Commission uses in preparing its financial statements. Also provides some additional details behind some of the numbers that are included in the financial statements. And then if you want to know all the information related to pension, BRS pension, and group life liabilities, there's about 20 pages worth of disclosures on the pension and OPEB liabilities.
Well, as discussed, I was derelict. I did not read every word of it.
So that's so those go all the way to page 53. So then the next section of the report is required supplementary information. This starts on page 55. So Exhibit 7. This is budget to actual for the governmental funds. So there's a column for original budget, final budget, actual, and then variance. So again, total revenues, total final budget, 48.2 million budgeted, and then 45.4 million in actual, and then same with expenditures, a little over 48 million was budgeted, and then actual expenditures was 45.2 million. So 2.7 expenditures were 2.7 less than what the final budget was. Then after the budget to actual, then we have, if you didn't get enough information related to BRS pension and OPEB liabilities, the next 6 exhibits are information related to pension and OPEB. And then, so those are all the required supplementary information. And then the next section of the report are the supporting schedules. So those start on page 65. So Schedule 1, this is just a detailed schedule of expenditures for the general fund. So it shows the various expenditures, again, just detailed expenditures related to the expenditures that are shown previously on the Exhibit 5 for the general fund. The next two schedules are related to indirect cost rate. So Schedule 2 is the schedule of all the indirect cost. So total indirect cost during the fiscal year was $552,000. And then Schedule 3 shows the individual program and personnel cost. So total individual program personnel costs were 1.1 million. So the indirect cost rate calculation for FY25 is 50%. So the individual indirect cost of 552,000 can divided by total individual personnel costs. So indirect cost rate for again FY25, which will then be in effect 2 years later, FY27. So 50% of indirect costs.
What are we now?
The indirect cost for 41%, yeah.
All right, it explains the delta between the allocation and the actual.
Right, yeah, so this 50%, 2 years will be used for your indirect cost. Whereas the actual cost that you could use for indirect cost for the fiscal year was based on 2 years ago, the 41%. So it's a 2-year lag.
Gotcha.
All right, and then the last schedule is just the schedule of grant contracts. This is a schedule that the Finance Committee wanted a few years ago, probably 10 years ago now. But this just shows the total contract for the grants, how much spent year to date, how much is still related to FY is budgeted for the next fiscal year. And then the last section again is the compliance section. Again, the first 4 pages are the 2 reports from us. And then on page 75 is the schedule of expenditures of federal awards. So this just shows the federal grant expenditures by program. And then 2 pages, the very last page is the schedule of findings and question costs. So it's kind of summarized information related to the audit. Again, unmodified opinion on the financial statements. No material weaknesses, significant deficiencies related to internal controls over financial reporting. No federal award findings. And then the major programs that were done related to the audit this year, the big major program was related to the COVID program related to the broadband. And that's all related to the audit. I'd be happy to answer any questions y'all may have.
Any questions for David?
Yes, sir.
Michael?
No, I don't have any questions.
Just so that you know, I read it. Page 11. Fluid cigarette tax. $29 in interest? It's an odd number. What's the story with that?
It's only accruing interest in the P&Ls for the 2 checking accounts at $500. So the reserve funds
Got it.
are accruing in the reserve account, so
That
that's in the
explains
deferred revenue account.
I was trying to figure out how we're getting $29 worth of interest on $3.2 million.
Yeah.
Because if we were, I was gonna have a little conversation about. we ought
What's,
to
there's
try
two
something
checking
different.
accounts and their running balance, or 500 in each,
Got
so
it.
that's,
Now that makes sense.
there's the math.
And how long have you been doing this for us, David?
I think we started doing the audit in fiscal year 2012.
Yeah, because I came on at 11. I think that's what, so it's just, we have this conversation every year,
Mhm.
every time we do this. Way different than it was in 2012, huh?
Right, yep.
You were, I say this all the time, but I think at that point, we were very close to 30 days of shutting things down.
Right.
So, well done, everybody. Okay,
Any other questions? That was it?
any other questions?
Not at this time.
I
Okay.
think I put my agenda somewhere.
Well, I guess we have recommended action, but
Yeah, no action, just the action.
yes, we did.
We have taken action on this?
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping me straight, sir.
Not at all. Would you like me to make the motion?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Why don't we?
Chair, I move that this committee recommends the fiscal year 25 annual financial report to the full commission for consideration of approval.
Thank you, fine sir.
Second.
Thank you, Michael. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody want to talk about anything else? Then I think we can adjourn.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. We're done. That was easy. Man, where's that little button?
We're in.
I can tell you that clock is